would like push us forward in so many ways. Like if he has,
you know what the simulation we need the most is? You know what it is? Have you seen Black Mirror?
Yeah.
And the dating simulation one? So imagine like, why do we talk first? I guess it's called daemons.
Yeah.
Like we're all gonna have daemons of ourselves, which like interact with other people's daemons, and then figure out what connectivity there is there. So like that needs to become a thing. The dating simulations one is such a like front use case. Imagine you get a match, and then you're able to go view all the texts that you and the girl's daemon has already texted about or conversated about. That'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
You're gonna record the vibes? I've captured it on video, brother.
You get on video, I'm gonna get recorded, we parse it, we got multimodal, bro, in all fucking forms, right?
Wow.
We're in a multimodal universe, right? We're in the age of modal communication generation, and all of our interactions are gonna be evolving, right? We're gonna have agents at our disposal that will start communicating on our behalf, you know, generating conversation, responding, you know, booking appointments for us, right? Analyzing, doing real novel thought, right?
Yes.
That currently we don't have the bandwidth to do, right? Our personal lives are really constrained to our, you know, what our present sort of, you know, environment is, right? But this like 100x's our potential, right?
I'm tired of looking at my phone. I want fucking Jarvis.
We need something to like, it's like, imagine you had an army of like interns or like employees to manage your life, and right?
Yes.
For some big tech CEOs or like, you know, investors, big time, you know, entrepreneurs that have people that work for them, they manage these people's lives, right? Imagine if you're like the CEO of Apple, right? This guy's probably got 20 different assistants in like 20 different areas. In AI, we're gonna have 20 different agents for a variety of different things. Everything from like fucking booking your, you know, buying your groceries to booking your, you know, airplane fucking tickets to sending emails to scheduling your haircut, whatever that is, right? Like we're gonna have something that pays your fucking electricity bills, right? Wi-Fi, everything. Like, what does that look like, right? Okay, I forgot to pay the car bill. Hey, Siri or whoever the fuck my assistant is, Alexa, Flow, whatever it is, right? Pay my car bill, right? Got it, right? They already took care of it, right? They're gonna start thinking for you on your path. Have you ever had like an assistant? They remember things for you. Like, oh, did you forget to respond to so-and-so? Oh shit, you know, they already did, right? And so I think that it's gonna be really improving our productivity, right? In a variety of ways. What does that look like for an average person? I think that allows them, right? Some articles I'm reading saying that we might be able to have like more jobs. Like you might have a full-time job, now you're
More jobs.
Yeah.
Not less.
I agree, right? People are like worried about, oh, we're gonna replace our jobs. No, I think it actually expands our creativity, expands our productive potential, right? I think it's gonna allow us to do more now.
Right, all the people who are worried about like, oh I can't make my art anymore. It's like, bro, what about the guy who first built the camera, where the artists who had to draw people like, fuck, dude, my position.
No, art is
right, but it made
now. Art is just as big now. Art is bigger than it was back then when the camera
everyone should have the tools and capability to derive
so if you look at that,
their
right?
art their soul into an artistic form.
Okay, people were worried right when automobiles came out, right? Horses are gonna become obsolete. I mean, we still ride horses, but it's more like a novelty. It's more like recreational, right? I mean, there's certain cases where we use horses over cars, but like not as much, right? Like the automobile changed our life, right? That made us mobile. I think that LLMs and agents are the automobile of the digital age, right? They're gonna allow you to be transported across, you know,
digital
the internet in an instant.
Digital
right?
transportation.
Right? It's like we're currently confined to like, okay, what I can say, like what I can tweet, what I can, you know, post.
You gotta use your fucking thumbs. That's bullshit. That's archaic.
I think, yeah, no, our thumbs.
Caveman
we're at the point
type beat.
We're speaking something that should just be creating the, you know, the text out of
You look
NLP is already at that point where it's
people look at cavemen drawing on walls as archaic. I look at people using their thumbs on their phone as archaic. You and me are not.
You're texting too slow, right? like before it was like, oh, you type with 2 fingers, right? No, like also with your thumbs down it's too slow, or even if you're typing that's too slow, right? Like we're now speaking at the speed of diction, at the speed of conversation, of dialogue, of monologues, whatever, right? However fast you can communicate, right, with your voice, even with your mind, right? Even thinking, right? You know, these models today, right? If we're talking about like, you know, GPT, right, or Code DaVinci 002, or you know 001 Cushman, right, or you know Llama, right? There's a lot of different variations. I think like the existing models today. I think I made a tweet today that was like, we're worried about like, oh, we're gonna run out of jobs. No, I think that actually the end state will be UBI will become a function of people training models and being paid to train their own models. Like, I think that's what actually happens, right? It's like we don't lose out on.
I don't agree, but I want to hear more why.
And the end state is
people
like
paid to train their own models.
Not their own necessarily. Really, improving your own personalized version, right? Like we will have our own personalized models.
Right. I think
We're
when
gonna
super
get
cool
paid
part about the
train-
future
like,
is you're just going to sit next to your phone and talk about what you want and the things that you want to do, and it's going to help you do that.
Every industry and every company, right, is going to have a model on their business stack, right, on their customer base, on their knowledge base, right, on their HR policies, on whatever their revenue model is, right. Essentially, every employee then in the future, right, is going to be then contributing to improving that model to be optimized to the, to be the most profitable, let's say, if that's like the, ideal outcome, right, or whatever that end state is, right. I want a model that makes the best YouTube videos. I want a model that makes the most fucking based or fucking fire tweets, right.
Right.
Whatever that outcome, that desired outcome is, right, that's what we're going to be sort of like contributing to, right. And so we're going to get compensated for it, right. I think there is going to be an incentive layer that's going to have to be compatible with this.
You mean simply for providing your human feedback?
Yeah, RLHF is going to be, there's going to be an incentive layer for RLHF, right? And I think that actually...
We're all going to be data labelers?
I think that's what becomes, I think UBI, like the outcome of UBI is going to be a result of RLHF in some degree, because ultimately it's always going to be humanity with machine and model, and that the model is that bridge between the machine and human sort of barrier, right?
Right.
That's the bridge right here, is where humanity and algorithm, right, sort of like merge. The model is really just that selling point, right?
Do you think some people will get paid, have their entire brains? Like that's actually what they're gonna say. You get to upload yourself to the cloud, but actually it's just gonna be a way to fully take your entire neuron stack and your human brain and use it as a GPU.
A model,
and they're gonna create a clone of you, which seems like real in this digital world. It's not you.
A model is our collective consciousness. It's the world's collective consciousness. Why? If you look at the training data, it's like 60% Common Crawl. It was like 19% like Web 2, and then it's like 3% Wikipedia, and then like one other data set. But what is that? It's the corpus of like human knowledge base. It's our own Library of Alexandria. If we like compile all of human information into one model, or where the internet sort of like houses everything, like that's what this becomes. I mean, that's like God tier level power. Like that's becoming. I don't think it's omnipotent. Like if you know what like omnipotent means, it's like all powerful. I think it becomes all knowing, which is omniscient, right? I think these models get to the point. AGI really will be an omniscient model that knows every current state of things and knows and can predict every future state of something else, whether that's humans or something else. It's called. Some people consider that super determinism or determinism, right? Where it's like if you the thought of that, like the belief is that the concept, if you know where every atom is in the universe, you can predict where everything will go in the future. What's the future sort of state of everything, if you know where the current state is in the current vector of every one of those, pieces of matter, right? That's what a model becomes.
Because if you can predict it, then you can also kind of like change it in some way.
Then, sure, if you already know, right? The question, okay, then that's like a weird quantum mechanics sort of thing, right? If you already know what it is and you try to, if you measure that state, you perturb, like you actually already alter the state if you measure it, right? So how do you know what it is?
The universe is unpredictable.
Without measuring it, right?
It's built that way.
That's just like the very unique form of quantum mechanics that I wouldn't say is beyond understanding, but like we're baffled by that state. I don't know. I think that's like definitely above my pay grade, right? But I think it's like, okay, how are we gonna live our lives in 10 years, 20 years? What is our average everyday life gonna be, right? Like, how do we live our lives now? How do we live our lives 20 years ago, right? How did your parents live their lives?
How do we see the inevitable future and then bring it forward deterministically in time?
I like to think of it as like, how do I fast forward 5, 10, 15, 20 years? I think at that point, we're going to be, reaching AGI level, models that are going to be able to run governments, right? I think the US government will actually have its own AGI that is going to run the country. It will figure out the most optimum foreign policy, the most optimum welfare programs, right, or entitlement programs. What is that going to look like? What's the optimum military budget? What policies will,
Have you watched The Omega Team or read Life 3.0?
Yeah.
You have? Prologue?
Yeah.
Pretty based. Pretty based. You need to watch it.
I haven't. Let me see how this generates.
You're gonna parse? There's so many more features you can add to this sort of system.
They're
basically just
add
auto
the Apple
prompts.
Notes export feature?
It's basically just adding a prompt stack but giving it a name.
Did he add the Apple Notes export feature though?
Yes, it is a thing. He did
is
say
it?
yes,
Is it
but I
ready
don't know
yet?
where.
Ask him if it's ready. I
think it's in it.
Shit, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Parse the entire thing. They needed full embedding on second
I did a
brain.
12-minute one, dude. Look at this. Look at that one. That one's huge.
Fire?
Yeah, that was long.
LFG?
That's right, I got it all.
I just saw as Jack says or something.
Yeah, I quoted you.
Fuck yeah, dude. Can I see my quote?
Where did you say? Where did I say as Jack?
It was in the parsed section actually where I saw it. Wonder if the search is parsed. I would assume it does.
Look, they just parsed all this. Record the Visine captured on the video.
Brother.
This is pretty good. So that was the transcript. Okay, parse with AI now.
The other thing it needs, Jacob, is detect different voices voices parsed separately as different characters.
It shouldn't do that, right? It should.
They're like meeting AI. And the meeting AIs don't actually have that feature. They just use the different instance of which virtual audio cable it comes from, or which person.
Let's see, analyzing, please wait, should come out. I like the parts because it does. Like a common call, train data model, train data model, Wikipedia, train data, corpus of human knowledge, God tier level of power, becomes all knowing, omnipotent means all powerful, AGI will be omniscient model, super determinist.
Dominik, you didn't give your feedback. How much of that was based and how much was schizo? And what was the most based part and what was schizo? You understand the...
This is the problem. It's very like it's the beginning.
Yes.
I don't know, like if it really needs AGI, France is a bit schizo. Like we want to keep talking about AGI, but like maybe we just need more like better trained models. Like the next generation can already be like good enough to be like to govern as president and doesn't really need it. Or like what means AGI? Like generalized in which way? Is like for me it's just like a term, like a better thing as we have now, and it doesn't really need it in my opinion.
What is it? What do we not need?
AGI.
We don't need AGI.
We just need like what's AGI for you?
I don't know if it's like, okay, here's the thing. Everyone may have their own definition of an AGI, but that's stupid because I think most people are stupid, okay? I think I'm only gonna listen based off of what the experts think AGI is because I think they have the most realistic understanding of what that will look like. So I'm gonna go based off of what they think it is, right? Maybe like compiling a number of different takes from different experts. People are like wondering, will GPT-5 be an AGI? Okay, yeah, and sure, what is that definition, right? I think what I just said was, okay, this model has like I think sentience is a lot of people's experts' definition of what an AGI is. Sentience meaning, right, like this thing, I think, therefore I am, right? And it understands, it's aware of itself. It's able to use logic, right? It's able to think.
Take a new function, change how it functions based on feedback. It's just human level, I think is the best.
But no, not just human level. Surpassing the
well, just
beyond
because of the fact that your human
that.
level thing has access to so much more data and can parse that data so much quicker and runs on rather than fucking neuronal functionings, these biological gates, which are super slow. Instead, they run on chips. Yes, transistors are much faster than us.
Yeah, I agree, but like, why does it need, or like what means sentient? Like, what you just said, like
sentient?
Yeah, I know what it means, but like, so if you ask the current GPT-4, like, we already like can already mimic sentience in some way, and like questions like if you're talking to only the language.
I can't vibe. It can't riff.
GPT-4 hallucinates, and it's not that impressive, right? Like I actually get to write a base tweet or say something based, it doesn't really get that. When I say like act Chad doesn't fucking know that, right? Especially since it only has data up to 2021, right? It's not, there's so many times where it's not logical, right? It doesn't do certain math problems.
I think it's lacking the internal monologue, internal narrative, identity, ego. There's different lobes of the brain which it lacks. It's just pure prefrontal cortex, basically.
I guess we get there. Like the next generation can get there, and we can get there. Like
yes,
like they feel sentient, and then they can handle all this.
Progress can't be stopped.
So the question is, right? A sentient model. GPT-4 is not sentient. It can act like it sounds like it's responding to you in a sentient way. But
so can you, bro? Prove you're sentient. All you're doing is acting human. I knew it the whole time.
I'm a fucking alien. Sure,
I knew
right?
it.
I don't
You're lucky to be called an alien.
We've
You're an NPC.
We've had to adapt the Turing tests to accommodate like these newer models, right? Like they've outperformed, like they've passed Turing tests, right?
No machine should be made in the perfect likeness of man. This will be a future law.
Is that what Isaac Asimov said, or what?
That's what my brother said?
Like, I don't think that's true. Like, we're definitely already having humanoid robots, like Tesla.
Well, I'm saying in the perfect likeness of man. If we ever, there's two different failure modes of the future once we get the technology. One is a full deep dive VR, which is as real as reality. Inception failure mode.
Westworld.
I'm saying like, look, we do need to stop at one certain point if we're gonna remain.
That's what Eliezer says, right? And I think I agree with him probably at some point where we
right.
need to let alignment and safety catch up with capabilities, right? Which right now it's way behind, sorely lacking, right? Our models, like the most GPT-4 is certainly not, it's way further than, our alignment. And alignment really just means like...
No, I'd say alignment is there right now. It's not, I can't get my, you can try to get your shit to say fuck shit, but it's not easy.
Alignment is not there, not nearly. That's why Eliezer is talking about this, right? Talking about stopping all current and future capabilities, right? Surpassing GPT-4. He's obviously worried of the doomsday scenario of AGI, which is like, things humans are irrelevant or not needed, kills everyone off, mass extinction event, does something, right? Creates nuclear war or something, right? Hacks into the nuclear codes, right? Whatever, right? Biological fucking terrorism or something. If you have something that is that powerful, it could create mass chaos, right? It could create an apocalyptic situation.
And it could create the alignment solution for itself.
But
I'm bullish on the idea of
Like that's the worry, is that we're not able to
Alignment research
Like,
is
we
accelerating
can't
alongside, and that's the OpenAI model right now. As they said, within the next 4 years, we will build a AGI level alignment researcher. Which is funny because to build a AGI researcher, they just added the word in the middle, right? And yeah, the core focus is on alignment, so that's good. As long as they're front running alignment, I think that bullish.
I mean, how do they even want to do that? Like, is this now like how do they want to have like AGI for?
I don't know. Should we pull up to the office and ask?
Yeah.
We should be like, yo, guys.
2 blocks away. Let's go. Let's go take a field trip to OpenAI, guys. Closed AI, actually. The doors are closed. We can't get in. It's a Saturday.
And we can film the people coming in and out and ask them questions. Someone will talk to us.
What did we just do?
Keep the camera low key.
So, are you guys currently working on human level?
Does this look chill?
75 fully.
Does this look chill?
Are you a humanoid? Are you a robot? How do we not know that you're not their latest GPT-5? You know.
We know what we're like.
Can I see? Do you bleed? Cut.
Cut yourself right now.
Cut. Yeah.
Prove it.
Yeah. Do you? Blood sample. Right?
Blood test.
Android. Right. You've seen Westworld, right? Where like they create human realistic bots. They call them hosts, right?
Yes.
I'm afraid that we do get to that point.
We will need to regulate.
In the near or distant future, I think we do get to that point, right?
Yes, we will need to regulate.
Something that is like as close to a human as possible, right? It's like an actual Terminator machine, but it's like 10 times as strong as us.
I think we need to never make the one that is indistinguishable from a human because it's the same failure mode as Inception. If you experience reality as real as this one, you'll never know you're in base reality. You'll never be able to fully trust it. We need to not let our amygdala get fucked. If you experience a robot human, which is as perfect as a real human, you'll never be able to trust the other people are real as well. And these are actually big failure modes that I think will need somewhat of a based Bible that will spread. But I think it's actually farther than the mass market, like existential acceleration will push people. I think people will stop far before we actually get close to those points.
Yeah.
Okay, cut.
Dude, it's based. Everything's gonna be known. You need
for
to.
our next video. I don't think this is like a podcast sort of like content. We needed to do something like when I told you, like we need to create.
We need to build?
Like we need to do something that's like entertaining. This isn't entertaining enough, I don't think, right? Are enough people gonna watch this?
Comment down below if you were entertained or what. Or we can change.
I think like we need to do something like we need to actually do an activity, right? Like we need to show what this looks like actually.
Should we go to
in practice.
dancing?
I'm not we're gonna do some fucking TikTok dance video.
We should definitely like.
Imagine a future where you can simply speak to your computer.
You didn't speak to it though. You don't.
I clicked the button.
Are you connected?
No, that is a problem. Click other networks. Now they're adding the mic to the homepage of the next one.
Yeah, tell us.
Shop and reorder. I think I heard that. Shop and reorder.
Go to adult diapers.
It's motherfucking shitty.
Adult diapers.
Search.
You have to tell it to search. Go fix that one.
And it sucks because we might need like an action word in group scenarios for sure.
The idea for NLP is really good. You should use that. I feel like you.
It's whisper.
It's really good.
It's just whisper.
I mean, it's working pretty well. This
Right.
is good. So you should probably use that.
Click shop and reorder. Add disposable rinse bath wipes to my cart.
At iPhone chargers.
Probably pretty good.
Anyways, the key thing about this is that it's more like lots of hallucinations, of course. You can downvote, it undoes what it did, and then you'll click what you wanted to happen. And then, after I do that,
Does it learn?
yeah, I'll save that, and now it's uploading that pair to the cloud.
Are you like fine tuning the model then, or what are you doing?
It's then grabbing it like an unofficial API, like let's try
Is
that
it this
again.
model's Whisper or which one's Whisper?
Add iPhone cables to cart. So I thought that should have then done it because I added it in a fixed thing. I'm also on an old version.
Jack, you're a capitalist. What you believe is what I like to call a green beret. You're a force multiplier. Now, I also see myself as one. Now, a force multiplier, right? Now, what Jack does is he 10x's, 100x's his own potential by empowering other people to work on projects by funding them. Now he's passionate. Jack likes to work on a lot of different things, right? He has his hands in a lot of pies. Now what he does is he's created a system that he manages through WhatsApp and a number of different job sites, right? Where he finds talented developers, right? And entrepreneurs, students in other schools and universities that want to work on something. Now they either work on this project that he promotes and shows them either for equity or for, monthly salary or stipend, whatever that is. And he has an entire process that manages all these people working on various different projects. Everything from grant issuing, Workfleet, which is like, an AI automation tool, like you talk to it and it can like
data labeling tool to build the parietal lobe, basically the world model.
Okay, now what else? What other projects?
Execution layer.
You have persist mentioned. What other projects are you paying people to work on right now? What are your top ones?
Holy Bible.
Holy Bible, which you have a student in Michigan.
Yes.
At University of Michigan working on this for equity.
I hired an engineer.
You hired an engineer.
They built the app.
They
made money by forking the app, doing a mix of Patreon plus TikTok to create a vertical feed. It was called Viral University. This guy with like 14 million followers. And so they created a feed of videos on how to go viral. And then people paid for that and subscription-based thing. Then I was like starting to think bigger about what is the best feed possible that we can create. I'm a first principles thinker in terms of how I vision stuff. And also I care mostly about reshaping like the world towards bringing out a global consciousness and all of our higher selves.
Okay, keep going. Anyway, so get to the next project, right? So summarize that one and then move to the next one. So what's the next project you're working on?
See, I'm not like actively working on...
You're paying people to work on projects. You are essentially your own incubator. I look at you as like you're an incubator. You're like a personal incubator, right? Where you're incubating, let's say 10 or 12
Swiss mode
projects. Swiss mode. Now what is Swiss mode? I can even pitch that now, right? So Internshallow, which is like a job site that finds devs that you can outsource.
We don't give away the Internshallow alpha though.
Whatever, right? You outsource devs on a site to work on certain projects, right? You make a job post, they go work on that job, right? You pay them to complete a task.
Hold on.
It's like Fiverr, right?
I got this pitch. You want to find a 10x engineer? You want to know that someone is going to take your design vision and create that exact thing? At Swissmo, we let you try before you buy. Rather than giving some random interview questions to see who's best, we take one of your ideas, an assignment, we assign it to thousands of people using our outreach bots. Us outreaching to people gets better applicants than anyone who would come in. This is called the roundabout method. It's because the best people are ones you actively have to search for.
Okay, and so you put out this assignment and then you get a number of applicants.
The client sees the designs, the client sees the MVP. Jacob had him build all web apps of IdeaFlow, and then they look at it, they find the 100x engineer who did a new good design and knew all these other good aspects.
They pick that person.
They hire them. I act like deal.com. We handle all the payroll and everything, so they just pay our company.
What's the payroll situation? What company is this that they do that with through?
Me.
What company?
Swissmo.
I thought you didn't own Swissmo. So you work with Swissmo?
I own Swissmo.
So I'm confused. You said you don't own Internshallow.
I do not.
So Swissmo is the automation tool that sits on top of
Swissmo is the recruiting company.
That sits on top.
And the automation tool.
That sits on top of Internshallow.
Yes.
Okay, now that makes sense. So you created Swissmo. Now I'm okay, right? So this is the process, right? I've known Jack for a few times. So this is how now I'm getting to figure it out better. So I love this, right? Essentially, this is like talent automation tool, right? And I see myself as like a venture talent automation person, right? Where I have deployed millions of dollars into various companies, right? I like to see how capital can scale world-changing projects and opportunities that solve world-critical problems, right? And I want to find the 100x entrepreneurs and developers and builders that can solve these challenges. You have a process, okay? Now that automates the outreach, right, of people. When I have an idea and I have a problem that I need solved, I need to build this website, I need to build this app. This app is a delivery app, it's whatever, right? It does X, Y, or Z, right? It solves this problem and I want to find the best person to build this app or this front end, this back end component, whatever, right? This design, website design. And I put that on Swissmo where I have a small MVP or proof of concept that is almost like a homework assignment. This is where we're bridging academia with the real world, right?
It's a hackathon, but your prize is a job and a career to be a boss.
It's a job, let's say, that can be either a mixture of, a salary and or equity.
We pay you to be a boss and you get ownership in what you're building the rest of your life.
So now the question.
Why do any other job?
How do we super scale this and 100x this so that we are finding every entrepreneur now that wants to.
We're searching for the Elons of the world at their earliest stages and giving them and de-risking their path to work on their biggest vision.
Well, so here's the thing.
And designs are big
Where do we see
decisions, 'cause
ourselves?
We're smart at doing visions.
Hold on, where do we see ourselves? Because right now this is a tool to find, let's say, outsourced devs to work on a project. Now, are they working on the project that that Elon is building, right? Are we recruiting them to the next Tesla or OpenAI or the Boring Company or SpaceX, right? How do we turn this into the next sort of engine, the talent engine, the flywheel that's going to find the next Steve Jobs, the next Mark Zuckerberg, the next Bill Gates? Right?
I can automate more of the process.
What does that look like?
That just looks like telling Kastab, he's my automations guy.
Who is your automation guy, Kastab? Who is this guy?
Kastab, he's wicked. He made the Y Combinator.
Where does he live?
India, of course.
Okay, and so you talk about your Y Combinator automation tool.
So for every single project, I do want like an American head or CEO.
Yes.
Because them being in the network is key.
Yes, and you outsource
the
devs.
optics.
You outsource devs on top of that, right? Underneath.
So first I grab a dev. That dev builds some shit so it looks cool. We have a cool looking
for
website.
a project.
Yes.
How do we find your CEO?
Then we go on startupschool.org. We can also build automations on more co-founder sites.
On more co-founder sites, yes.
But right now,
it's on startupschool.org. That's great.
Perfectly good enough.
That's perfectly good.
It allows you to send 20 invites a week. It's an automation which auto sends invites, and it also takes a semantic score of the person to see if they're relevant to the project. And then it uses GPT to parse the person's page.
Makes sense.
And then they get on a call. I join these calls. I say if you ever find someone really good. They send me the profile. I say if I want to hop on the call. And then I evangelize and then offer some sort of equity package to this American CEO for the project for them to join it.
So then where do I see this coming together? I'm a venture investor. I invest in companies. I invest in people, ultimately. I want to invest in the next generation of world-changing founders, right? Disruptive companies that are going to change the status quo and bring us into the digital age. I want to invest in the most innovative AI companies, crypto projects that are going to bring the rest of the world population into the digital economy, right? To the global economy. What's that going to look like? Okay. I want to be investing in the top talent, the top CEOs that are coming through this talent funnel. Because I see this as a feeder talent, right? So we have, developer resources on one side where we find devs to work with founders, right? CEOs that we find through Y Combinator and other avenues, right? Other sources. And really what this becomes is we're automating the company formation and funding process to super scale companies to become unicorns or trillion-dollar empires. Where this starts from the basic layer, finding a co-founder with an idea. It starts with an idea. Someone has an idea. Whether or not they're going to be the founder, they post an idea. They're like, hey, I have a good idea. I want to find a co-founder to work on this project. And I want to find a developer that is going to be able to build this project, build a proof of concept or an MVP of what that is. Then we go get funding for it. Who's going to put up the money to produce this MVP, to pay the developer to get to that, to produce that MVP? I'll put that up there as a sponsor. And I'll do that for other projects and ideas that I think are viable. We put that up there and we automate the process of finding the co-founder and the developers that will build on this project. So we're going to start funding these ideas and then automating the process of finding the developers and founders that are going to be working on these companies. And ultimately, we're going to build a portfolio of companies that are going to be bringing in revenue and income for this. I don't know if I call it a conglomerate. I don't know if I call it a venture fund. I don't know if I call it a talent agency, but it's a mixture of all these things.
Venture studio.
It's like a venture studio, but it's also like a talent agency. And it's a blend.
A better venture studio.
It's a better venture studio. It's a better Y Combinator. It's a better venture fund. It's all of these things together. Why? Because academia doesn't solve this problem. The industry, right? Industry doesn't solve this problem. Venture funds don't solve this problem. Talent agencies don't solve this. We're creating a flywheel by bringing all of these pieces together. Everything from the idea, the founder, the employees, right? The developers, the builders to build this project, the funding to fund this idea, to make it viable, to make it possible, and then finding the customers to do it, right? Ultimately scaling this. And then the portfolio management, the investors, right? That manage these investments and make them profitable, make them, venture scalable so that we can drive returns and ultimately drive a profit, right? We want to make this the biggest wealth creation engine on the planet. And we want to use the latest technology and automation tools to produce this.
The most efficient capital to innovation system.
How do you make sure that you find the right people? Because I feel like
we have to filter them, right? It's not like we're just going to let anyone in. We're going to have to,
humans review the MVPs and the outputs.
A human will be in the loop of all process. And at the end, a human, right, like a venture investor, when they make an investment, before they do that, they have a process called due diligence. Due diligence is the process of figuring out if this founder is legit, if they're the right person to do this job, to execute on this vision and make it a profitable company, right? That's ultimately what they need to figure out. And then they have to figure out if this is the right go-to-market strategy, if they have the right product market fit, if they have the right ingredients for success. Ultimately, this human, right, is going to be our quality assurance person. It will conduct the due diligence to make sure that the people coming into these projects, the founders, the developers, fit our high level or requirement of talent and quality. We have a very high pedigree, right, of only the smartest and most talented entrepreneurs and builders and developers on the planet, and product designers, right, PMs and whatnot, business developers. But we want only the best people to be coming through this program, right? Because we're going to become the best of the best. We're going to be funding the best projects in the world, right? And ultimately, we're going to become a magnet for talent, a magnet for funding. Why? Because every other venture fund that doesn't have this process is going to be wanting to get our hands on our deal flow. They want to get their hands on our deal flow, right? Every talented developer is going to want to be applying for jobs here, right? Why? Because we're producing the best companies that are going to be the most innovative in the world. They're going to be in the most innovative categories, from AI, what's happening in generative, video creation, text to video, and then latest, image recognition models. Whatever the latest and greatest is, we're going to be funding companies in that industry and vertical and producing companies that are going to be the leaders, the market leaders of those industries. Everything from, let's say, AI to crypto, bio. We're going to start with the areas and industries that we have expertise in, but ultimately we're going to expand that to have more mentors for startups, right? To give them the resources they need, both financially and non-financially. If they need legal help, assistance, right? They need go-to-market strategies. They need help finding a co-founder. They need to find X, Y, and Z. Whatever that is, we're going to become that resource. We're going to become the panacea for every startup founder that wants the super scale. That's what this looks like.
What you can also do, like what I've also found important is that you maybe look like not in startup school, but like at more niche places. So like the weirdos are not like startup school; they're more like on Reddit or like in their garage.
Exactly. There might be they could be anywhere, right? How do we find them? We're not. We're not.
That's why we become Mr. Beast of tech and innovation, because at the front of all of it, every company that gets built through our thing is going to have this attention funnel. Bigger than that, let's talk about this. Like the idea of Shark Tank and these crowdfunding things. People love looking at startups and being a part of startups. I had an app made called Startup College where people could pitch their startups inside of this app, and we have a fund button added. So if I'm like, wow, I think this guy's great, then I'm going to fund his project. I want it. Then I can do a reach
I like
out
this.
there.
I actually like this.
And so what this could also be is I could make it so it's horizontal, and people's Loom videos could be MVPs of the best ones. The crowd could vote on which entrepreneur gets selected.
So the crowd will actually be...
And the crowd could fund it too! And then there are already customers.
We're going to have like investors and mentors.
You just cut my hype.
No. We just need to communicate clearly and effectively. We're all excited for this. We're all very passionate for this. But we're going to have the right, let's say it's like a Shark Tank, but a Web3 or like a crowdsourced Shark Tank that is going to be looking at all these applicants. And the investors or people that have actually funded companies before are going to give their feedback. Either up, thumbs down. They might give them a score, right? They might give their feedback and a comment and say that this is a company I would fund, a company that wouldn't fund for X, Y, and Z reasons. And that's going to become our feedback loop, right? That's going to be our way to figure out why these companies or these founders are the right fit or not the right fit. This idea is a good idea or not a good idea for whatever reasons, and that's going to be a way to continuously, improve our selection criteria for the best ideas, for the best founders, and constantly optimize what that is and what we're looking for. So we're constantly funding the best ideas from the best talented entrepreneurs. That's what this looks like.
And what if you already prior to selecting these people and by human curation, you do kind of LLM-based simulation on the people and see if they can really have potential and the idea how it can work out, and you just run it with LLM.
Yeah, how would you use the LLM?
There were certain breakthroughs. There were certain papers which show if you put 25 LLM agents based on GPT-4 together in a sim town. They showed that they are gonna work. They have different objectives. They're gonna work it out and simulate things. And what you can do is you put together you have hundreds maybe of agents, and then certain they have certain objectives. They're the consumers kind of, and you test the product, but also maybe like there could be like another simulation how the team work out, or like.
So you want to create, essentially, long story short, you want to create product simulations, right? With these founders, right? With those ingredients, right? With those variables, put that in there and see what a product simulation of this would be, right? Before launching in the real world. Sure, yeah, absolutely. You want to be the product simulation leader, right? You want to run the simulations for product simulations? Cool. Exactly. I like this. Good shit. Good shit. Killed it. That's good.
I have one more take. There's actually a show called Going Public. You guys heard of it?
No.
It's a show where you can invest in the ideas on the show.
I like that. That's right.
It's by Jeff Hoffman. He founded Booking.com and Priceline.com.
That's sick. Wait,
he wants to meet up in 3 weeks. And so we can talk to him and pitch the whole warehouse idea, whatever, live YouTube show. Because he's already on game with it. He's so aligned.
Is it here or where is he going to be? Like in Amsterdam?
Here. Yeah. Actually, LA. And then the other thing that came to mind was...
I love this. Click to invest while they watch. This is sick.
Right?
This is like, we need to do a better version of this actually.
Yes, exactly.
That would be like a live stream.
What's funny is that we could probably get our startup, which is going to do a better version, on Meta.
We're a startup. We're an app that's going to
destroy Going Public.
Destroy Going Public. Why? Because we have smarter people, better ideas, a better model, and a better platform, right? And more automations, right? We're just absolutely going to blow you out of the water. Good concept, but we're going to prestige you, motherfucker.
Another cool automation, I was already thinking about this, is if I take my daily updates from different CEOs and have a LLM can autocraft the newsletter update for all the people through email to see like, here's each company on how they're going, or which cohort, whatever. And I think we should do this in India. I think we got to go to India. It's so fucking cheap to rent big places. And also I have access to 800 founders for 6 months in their university, because I think building this directly into the universities is the model. Because then it's free for the first 6 months. And you can't beat free.
Right.
Can't lose, per se. And the schools want this. The schools, in fact, want you to take all of their top engineers in the final semester of their thing. Because normally they ask them to go find internships and stuff. But if you, as a nonprofit, say, hey, school, we'll provide free startup school or startup college or a uni-accelerator, it's like uni-combinator at the end of your school. I already locked in one.
Let's see, I got this. We got long. It was only 5 minutes? No way.
No way. Maybe it capped out. You think it capped?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did cap.
We got the whole video though, right?
Yes. We have the video
What would be
parsed.
cool is that, okay, we replay the video on IdeaFlow and then it takes that from the video.
Right, it should be able to take all of your videos and take MP3 out and then transcribe them.
That would be sick.
Full camera roll.
How far did it get though? I think it lost a bunch of the good shit though. Damn it. You'll have to send me the video then. Okay, cool. That's actually perfect. Alright.
I've been talking to Jacob.
What do you say?
The vision of IdeaFlow is long-term.
Tom Smith.
Exactly what we're talking about. It's a collaborative tool network that allows, like, IdeaFlow is one app. He wants to run a venture studio, basically.
What the fuck? Dude, this is retarded. This thing actually hallucinated. I had it first and it's like, Michelle Obama. What the fuck? I didn't even talk about Michelle Obama. Barack Obama? What the fuck is this? Yeah, I think like...
Yeah, you want to become president?
Wait, that fucked up actually. Wait, that actually really hallucinated.
Like, how can it hallucinate?
What the fuck? I lost the actual original thing too. Regeneration.
So no offense to Jacob, but he spent like $8 million building this and some of their other stuff.
I've seen it hallucinate.
And I think I could have got it shipped fucking quick from the MVP squad.
I'm regenerating.
A lot less. But he still got an extra 10 mil in the bank. He also believes in the always on recorder future.
I like that too. I think I'm
always on recorder plus auto assistant, I think, is like the future stack of Google was the top level search engine. Now the next top level thing is going to be your always on assistant.
Yeah, I agree. There's an A16Z funded company, I think, what's called Rewind, I think.
Yes, a rewind in your pocket. That was what I put in my tweet. You see the tweet? It was the video of you at Palladium.
I forget why I didn't use it. I think it cost money. I don't know if I used it or something.
Oh, you don't need to get accepted.
I think it was.
I have it. I think they stopped the waitlist.
I think they're charging now.
I've turned it on, but I've actually never used
I think
it.
it's only. Is it desktop or not mobile?
It's desktop.
Which means I don't know if I'm in front of my computer and I think the phone is definitely the better approach.
Such a better approach. Because when I'm on my desktop, I'm more likely to be able to save my tabs and search my stuff.
Sure,
I need more of real life always on. Rewind for real life is way more valuable than rewind for...
Rewind for real life, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you funneling?
Honestly, what's great about Jason, I'll say this. The reason why I was very attracted to hanging out with him is we naturally have this banter. It's funny. So it's like all we need to do in order for, the content to be engaging is if we know what we're doing and we know that we have a team who's like managing and organizing us, it allows us to become the greatest characters we can. You know, where we're just fucking vibing, spitting ideas out, ramping stuff out.
We need to become like the vlog squad, but for like venture, like for building and scaling
We
companies.
go do funny stuff. We go to hackathons. We
do that, exactly.
Right.
So we're on fucking board with that. We're definitely doing that because we're gonna go there and fuck around and be making a meme.
Host our own.
And
they'll be the funniest hackathons ever.
We will have
We'll
the
do
funniest,
like weird stuff.
weird
like
shit, but dope shit too, and get the best, smartest people to come and build cool shit, invest and make it funny and make it content, make it fucking meme worthy, right? Yes, we're on the same page about this. I'm very on board with this, dude. That's how we bridge making companies cool.
Yes.
We're gonna make making companies fucking cool. Why? Because right now, I might rather go watch a Mr. Beast video than go watch a hackathon or participate in one. Being a nerd isn't cool, but
no one's done.
It is. We're gonna make being a nerd fucking cool.
No one's done building in public correct yet.
We're gonna make Twitch for building, dude. It's like we're gonna have people streaming. We're gonna turn like FaZe fucking clan into like dev clan.
Right.
Where like we have streamers that are fucking devs.
Innovating,
hackers.
ripping
They're building
code.
and innovating shit. Like I've watched streams of George Haas just fucking rip, dude.
Right.
Just fucking rip code for like 6 hours because he's a fucking genius, dude.
And he's funny. He's a character.
Funny. We're gonna do that for all these fucking smart
And
people.
honestly, what a lot of CEOs and devs need is they need the angle of building their character because they need their EQ.
Their character.
We're developing their EQ and their character by putting them on a stage, a platform to shine.
We're making the Twitch of developers. Developers are going to be like, we're going to create the FaZe clan of devs, right? Where we're going to create esports personalities, but it's not going to be esports. It's going to be for hackers hacking on cool fucking shit.
We're gonna bring Bill Nye the Science Guy back.
We're going to make our own hackathons that are going to be our own branded hackathons that are going to be fucking funny, cool, and produce some of the best ideas in the world, right? They're going to be memeable. They're also going to be filmed and funded by our platform and our fund. We're going to invest into the best and brightest ideas. So I think the way we straddle this is like we have content creators that we're going to fund on one side that will be the marketers for the nerds that are going to create the best ideas, the hackers, the entrepreneurs. And we blend both of that. We're going to blend content creation and marketing influencers with hackers. That's what we need to do. And so we get some of the best content creators to come in, right? And make videos about cool shit, the coolest ideas, the newest AI tools. And we use that in our daily lives. And we start recruiting the smartest people to come building these things. We get content creators and streamers that are the smartest devs in the world and the best content creators to make really good content, right? That we're gonna turn into like a Twitch for developers, right? Let's say. We're gonna host our own hackathons that will have people who wanna watch this because A, it's good content. We have a Shark Tank component to it where we'll have VCs come in and tell the demo, hackathon finalists that their demo is shit and it's fucking garbage, right? Or it's fucking dope and I would fucking fund this. And so we're gonna make that really good content, right? We're gonna have it so that people want to participate in this. People wanna watch this. We wanna turn the Mr. Beast philanthropy model into giving grants to the smartest people in the world that wanna solve the world's hardest challenges, the world's biggest problems, right?
We're making Silicon Valley the show in the real world.
Into a real fucking platform. And this is my favorite show. Silicon Valley is the fucking dopest thing, but we're gonna turn it into a platform where we make cool fucking videos. We show you how to live the life of a tech fucking person because we live here. We know all these nerds that are building AGI, dude. We fucking live 2 blocks away from OpenAI. Like, why would we not build some really fucking cool LLM that is gonna become my virtual assistant and do all my fucking shit? Like, I don't wanna have to do chores. I don't wanna have to like send emails out and reply to people and like book fucking, reservations for dinner and haircuts and other appointments. Like, I want an AI. I want people, nerds, to build smart tools that will actually learn what I'm doing and what I want, understand my preferences, and actually start proactively doing things that help me, that advance me as a human. Like, how do I reach my fullest potential and how do I automate that? I want to automate my entire life. We want to create, this platform will be a way to attract innovators that are going to want to automate our entire life. We want to eventually get to the point where our life is totally automated, where we don't have to do much of anything other than curate and make sure that
Other than vibe.
what we're doing is we're selling a lifestyle. We're selling the lifestyle of living like a tech billionaire. Everyone wants to live like a billionaire, but not everyone wants to do the work to do that. But we're going to create the model that's going to give you the opportunity to reach your fullest potential and actually live that lifestyle. And people want to live like that. People want to be Mr. Beast, right? They want to like participate and have fun and give money away. We're going to give money away, but we're going to give it to smart people because smart people know what to do with it better. They're going to create trading bots. They're going going to create AI agents and models that are going to actually do real and solve real problems and actually create solutions for everyday problems that we have, right?
The most powerful person in the world is a storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of the entire generation.
And you know what else he says? You know what else Steve Jobs says? He's not a musician. He doesn't play an instrument. He is the conductor. He is the orchestrator. He is the one that tells people what to do. He coordinates resources. He coordinates human beings to collaborate to produce something that the world needs and wants.
You drum up the vibes and teach people to yearn for the vast and endless sea if you want to build a ship.
We're going to create the fund of the future.
We're going to become top Vs, not top G. Top G was not as high as we will come.
What does it say, Mr. Beast? That's perfect, actually.
Mr. Beast,
I love that.
Elon Musk,
Yeah. Buddha,
and Andrew Tate.
That's true.
And in the middle.
Like, actually, look, if we're like being real, right? Andrew Tate, I don't like agree with the way he acts and treats people. I'm not condoning his personality, right? Or his behavior. But he did become the most famous man on the planet by building ingenious marketing platform, right? He built a tool where he doesn't make his own videos. He may film himself, but he doesn't promote himself. He has an army of people that pay $50 a month to be in the Hustlers University to promote him. He created a multi-level marketing model to promote himself, and he did it, and it fucking worked. We're gonna do that, but to promote the best ideas and problems that the world needs to be solved in AI, in crypto, in biology, in quantum computing, in all of these cutting-edge industries and sciences.
That used to hurt me, which has led me towards this path, was the fact that I saw the world through like this. That there was two sides of me. One side wanted to vibe, have fun every day, and just be the best I can be. The other side said, I want to minimize our regret. I want to end the death and rebirth cycle. I want to throw a party on the moon. I want to decrease human suffering. I want to maximize good for the world. I want to save my parents from suffering, and I want eternal fulfillment.
That's
and I
good
thought
goals.
These two things were two separate bubbles. But then
You can do both.
I looked at it and I said, with a warehouse and a content team, by telling the story,
That's right.
creating the world's greatest
That's right.
incubator and accelerator,
That's right.
and combining the likes
We make it
of
happen. We
and
will it into being. We're gonna make it happen because we're gonna tell the story and align the people that want to come in and build it. Like, we're going to sell the vision. What we are is, like what you said, the storytellers. We're going to be the ones that paint the picture of what this can be, what the world's potential can reach if we align the right people. Really what this is, right? The reason why Silicon Valley became Silicon Valley is because it's a network. It's a network of people, information, and resources. And it's a way that we coordinated those assets, right? In such a way that we produce the world's greatest companies and most valuable corporations on the planet. We have, $1 trillion empire generating machine here. Everything from Apple to Google to Facebook to Nvidia and Tesla. We literally have the world's largest companies on the planet. Why? Because we had something, right? And it's called Two Guys in a Fucking Garage. And that story right there is the story of Google, the story of Apple, Steve Jobs and Wozniak in a fucking garage that built the world's most valuable company on the planet with everyone using their fucking hardware and technology, right? In the fucking palm of our hands. Like, that's a fucking story. Starting from a garage to a $2 or $3 trillion company, right?
Yes.
That's what we're gonna create is the platform and sell the story and vision and create the program to allow people to reach their fullest potential, solve the world's greatest problems, and find the smartest people in the world to do it. Because this is a talent funnel. We're gonna find those people. We know that they're here. We know they're here in Silicon Valley, but we also know that they might be in India. They might be poor and not have the opportunities that we have here in one of the richest country in the world and one of the smartest places and most innovative places in the world. This is the technology capital of the planet. We're just down the street from OpenAI. Like, we are creating the future, but we're taking the people that are going to do it, right? We're finding the people, creating the vision, giving them the resources, the tools, the structure, the programming to do that. We're going to create a new venture model. We're going to improve on the current venture capital landscape. We're going to improve on the current content creation model. Because the problem with influencers and venture funds and academia and universities and schools is they don't solve all the problems. They only solve one part of the problem. Where venture funds, they have one thing. They have capital. They invest it. They deploy it to startups, to founders.
Venture funds are the most inefficient companies.
They're passive investment vehicles because they don't solve the problem which they always have to search for, which is deal flow. They always have to be finding the next talented person, the next Elon Musk or Bill Gates.
They all wait for people to come to them and they pay overpriced for their rounds.
That's right. They overvalue and overinvest and overinflate these deals instead of creating the deal flow, the talent themselves. We're going to create that flywheel of bringing in greatest and brightest minds, right, that are going to solve the world's biggest problem. And then we're going to create content around that so that we can help people realize that they can achieve their biggest dream.
You know what we should do
solve
next?
the biggest problem.
You know what we should do right now? We should take these videos, we should transcribe them all, we should then have this entire thing turned into a pitch memo.
Yep.
All of everything we just fucking ripped on.
It's gonna be like, it's gonna be a course. It's gonna be like a program that you can join to reach your fullest potential. We're gonna connect you with the right co-founders, the right developers to help build your project. We believe that software is gonna change the world in a positive and impactful way. We want to use the latest technology to bring the rest of the world out of poverty.
Right.
We want to create wealth for the rest of the world. Right?
This is why it's so great to be in India, is that it's so cheap to have really smart people around us all the time, like a team, which is not only cooler for the content because people get to see us delegate in the real world, but it's cooler to the aspect of they're filming. We can just ask them, go take this video, embed it into a thing, and create a pitch memo. And just the delegative power. Money is 20 times more efficient at moving into like assistance and intelligence. You can get very, very smart people for hundreds of dollars a month.
What we're doing here is we're actually collapsing the arbitrage. Right now, there's such a widespread disparity.
Collapsing the arbitrage.
We're collapsing the arb between Silicon Valley talent and engineering salaries, which are the highest paid developers in the world. They get paid upwards of $250, $300, up to like $1 million plus a year, right?
Yes.
But guess what? What they don't realize is there is more competition, and they're not here. They are not bounded by geography. They may be bounded by opportunity and proximity to the world's like biggest companies, but they have the talent. They have the ability to compete and be just as good, if not better, than the current engineers at
And on
Google
top of
and
this,
Facebook, right?
instantly, when we go to India, which has 5 times as many people in the talent stuff, we not only take our capital from the Silicon Valley network and connections and multiply its capabilities just from that, but we become the coolest story in India. The Americans coming out there to prove how great all of the Indian builders can be. Already while I was out there, it was like, you get photos taken of you on the street. People just ask, because you're white man. Like we have instant clout, like we're a supermodel in SF, except we're men with great minds building great things.
I have to go do laundry. Let's go.
I'm going in my socks. I don't have time to put on
We need to
shoes.
start filming every day, and we need to start like actually doing this. Like it's happening. We just need to do it.
It's happening. Turn to
We
me.
have it.
Turn to me. Say, it's
We're gonna do this
happening.
every day, right? We're gonna show you what it is to live like a fucking tech CEO, tech founder.
We're gonna build, and we're not gonna stop fucking building.
You wanna live this life? You wanna fucking live like me, or you know, the next fucking.
You wanna roll on these types of wheels?
You wanna live like this? Like this is how I live, right? I want to live like this every day, right? You want to come with me? We're selling the dream. We want you to want to become the best version of yourself.
In my opinion, raise the fund, go back to India.
We go to India and find the best, the smartest people, and we take them here with us. We bring them here, and they're going to become the next Satya Nadella, the next Sundar Pichai, the next big tech CEO, right?
Right.
That's what this is.
Right.
We need to find the talent. We need to find them where they are. We need the right call to action to bring them, find them, and
Find
give them
them.
the resources they need to become the smartest version of themselves and reach their fullest potential.
Oh,
Become the next big tech CEO. This is what this is. I don't have to do my laundry.
India. India. Hello, sir. We're raising a venture fund, sir. You got to get in early. You're gonna make so much money with us. We're gonna change the world together.
That's true.
Dude, I think I might have got a LP.
It's not wrong.
I think I might have got an LP. Eli.
We want to make it accessible to everyday people. The problem is most people
Tune in.
don't have the
Tune
access.
into the story, right?
The real issue is access.
Give them the access.
We want to give them the access.
We'll give them the access. You want access?
Okay, thank you.
Are you sure? It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. You're gonna regret this moment. You're gonna see us on the internet one day, and you're gonna say, "I wish I would have had faith and trusted in them."
We need to start actually being like Mr. Beast and giving out 10 grand. That's what we need to do. You know how Mr. Beast beat PewDiePie? Because he actually realized that PewDiePie is the GOAT, and then he beat him. But he paid him homage, he paid him respect, and then he beat and
Right.
surpassed him. The way we surpass Mr. Beast is by actually.
So what's your
improving on
Mr.
his
name?
vision.
What are you,
I think
Mr.?
we'll become Mr. Tech.
Mr. Tech? I'm Mr. Karma.
There we go. Between that, we have culture.
And then we'll have Mr. Moon Mission.
Mr. Moon Mission.
You know what's better than one Mr. Beast? A team of Mr. Betters.
That's right.
The Mr. Betters.
That's right. We're gonna do better, right? We're gonna
build back better. We're gonna build back best.
You need to start writing more.
I need to write more? Dude, I have
People need to
so
write
much
more.
writing.
People need to like actually put their thoughts down.
People need to do a manifesto.
I agree. We are here's our manifesto.
You know what we're doing? Is we're killing Moloch. Moloch is the god of the lack of coordination. It only takes one maverick to change the game.
We're gonna improve coordination. So the world, when you look at the world I look at as a physical model.
Are we waiting for the thing?
We're waiting for a few minutes.
Okay.
The world is a physical model made up of different resources and environments. The world is just made up of different physical resources. Essentially, we are going to coordinate those resources better. Those are people, goods, services, information. Currency is energy once removed. That's really what this is.
Thank you, ma'am. We're gonna pay it forward and change the world.
We have big ideas.
Don't worry, ma'am. We have big ideas.
But even better execution. Because the difference is, my problem growing up, my biggest problem is I have great ideas, but I have terrible execution. I need the discipline, right?
Manifestation engine.
Instead, I surrounded myself with the manifestation engine to actually take advantage of the ideas I have for wanting to change the world. And we turn that into, what that looks like is people that actually have the
Infinite
ability.
capabilities.
We really do. We turn ideas into capable, reachable goals.
We
right?
idea flow into execution. We traverse and create the bond market for innovators.
We're gonna make a bond for talent. We're
Bond
gonna
for talent,
right?
exactly.
And that really is. There is going to be a talent bond because we're going to be betting on the future innovators of the world. We're going to create a talent index that people are going to be able to speculate on, right? And actually give the resources they have to creating a better world.
We're going
That
to
means betting on the
decentralize what college is supposed to be, which is the upgrading of your capability
Listen, maybe-
to
I'll
produce
give you an
value
example.
in the world.
I'll give you the example. If we took a bet on all the Teal fellows that went through the Teal Fellowship and you looked at the market value that they all created, not even including Ethereum, it's worth billions and billions of dollars. Now, what if you did that for Harvard or Stanford or MIT or other top universities? You would have a massive return on investment. Why? Because these places traditionally have been the hubs for the world's smartest people, the talent that have created the world's greatest companies and ideas. But we're going to create a better version of these universities because we're going to attract more talent, but actually give them the resources they need to reach their goal. We're going to give them the funding, not only the education, the funding, the network, but the coordination of all those resources together to actually produce the most innovative ideas on the planet to solve the world's most challenging problems.
Yes.
Right? That's what this is.
Yes, we are. Are you winning?
How do we do that? What does the first step look like?
Raise funds.
Shit, I forgot my thing. Here, take one of these.
Do you have any startup ideas? Are you sure? What about Uber for dogs? Uber for fish. It's a good idea. You'll regret that. It's gonna become a billion-dollar company. Some people, they don't take big opportunities, you know?
How do we sell this? We gotta go to the schools. We're gonna go to schools. We're gonna literally convince kids to drop out or build their project. Why? We're gonna fund it. We're gonna fund them and pay them. We're gonna pay them to build their own ideas. It's like, oh, fuck. I had this great idea, but some people don't have the ambitions to launch something, to turn it into a valuable company, right? They don't have the drive, maybe. They may be some of the smartest people in the world at a given, industry or a certain field of study, but they may not have the ambitions that Steve Jobs did. Like Wozniak was the real brains behind the original Apple II, like 1 and 2 computers. He had the drive. He had the know-how and the hustle to actually turn it into a company.
He made the right people believe.
He did. He used reality distortion, which is creating this distortion field with the people, with his employees, to make them do what he wanted them to do. Steve Jobs was right because he knew that what he wanted them to do was the right thing to do. What the customer wanted, created a product that's better than everything else. Right?
People want to do the right thing.
Because
They
it's
might
a
just
better
not.
design than
They might just not know what it is.
It's a better design than any other device.